Top 10 Thanksgiving recipes you will be grateful for. Believe it or not, Thanksgiving is just 3 short weeks away. We have arrived at the time of year when our calendars get messy and life just seems to speed up at a seemingly impossible rate. We've given you recipes for Halloween, top 10 spooky Halloween recipes that will delight your tummy, and you can bet we will have the winter holiday season covered, too. While this is obviously a lot of food already, we couldn't leave out the feast of Thanksgiving. We'll leave the turkey and ham up to you and focus mainly on the good stuff. The sides and desserts. Here are top 10 Thanksgiving recipes you will be grateful for. Number 10. Creamy green bean casserole from scratch. I don't know about you, but green bean casserole is one of my favorite side dishes to grace the Thanksgiving table. Usually made from canned soups and green beans, it's a warm and comforting dish to help you fall asleep faster after dinner. Pure comfort food. All that said, this green bean casserole recipe will amp up your kitchen skills and will be sure to be an even bigger hit as it's made from scratch. You might never make the casserole from cans again. Creamy, comforting green bean casserole made completely from scratch. This undeniably rich side dish will put a Thanksgiving turkey to shame. What made this great news even better news was that I had to make this green bean casserole twice last week to test and tweak the recipe based on what we liked/didn't like. Best week ever. Number 9. Bourbon Maple glazed carrots. The holidays are a time to let loose a little. God bless those kitchen artisans that add a little kick in one fashion or another to traditional and sometimes quite boring side dishes. These carrots have a mixture of amazing flavors that include dill, maple syrup, and bourbon. This dish is also simple to make. The most challenging part is not drinking the bourbon before you get a chance to cook with it. We have totally been down this little bourbon road before. I mean, I've kind of been indulging in the stuff lately, cooking with it, brewing beer with it, drinking it straight out of the bottle. In all seriousness though, I love to cook with bourbon. Especially when a sweet veggie is involved. These bourbon maple glazed carrots taste like candy. They are uber sweet, this coming from the sweetness from the bourbon. Their malty goodness combined with the sweet carrots is a true match. This is one instance where sweet goes perfectly well with sweet. Number 8. Whipped pumpkin honey butter. Admittedly, this is more of a spread than a standalone food item, but if you have any rolls or bread hanging out on your table, and why wouldn't you? Thanksgiving is no time for a no/low carb diet. This spread will make all of them disappear. The picture and the title alone are drool-worthy. Actually, you might want to buy extra rolls this year when doing your dinner shopping. Cinnamon, honey, and pumpkin puree are whipped into softened butter until fluffy and light, fall flavor whipped into good old butter. You can't go wrong. It's so easy and takes about 5 minutes to make. Spread it on rolls, toast, English muffins, regular muffins, and again, rolls. And if you are looking for a perfect roll recipe, wouldn't this stuff make a great holiday gift? Put it in a cute little jar, throw on a craft paper label, a little twine, and you've got yourself a tasty, seasonal gift to give. Number 7. 5-star apple sausage and cranberry stuffing. Looking for a new take on your old stuffing recipe? You might want to give this recipe a go. The great thing about this blog is that she also gives pork and gluten-free alternatives, as well as tips from experience that will help you make this stuffing perfectly. It was the fall of 1993, and I was set on improving the sausage and apple stuffing recipe for our next Thanksgiving dinner. After all, there were no other herbs called for in the recipe besides plenty of fresh chopped parsley, and I needed to do something about the apricots. But I really liked the idea of adding plenty of melted butter along with the stock versus using eggs as a binder as in other recipes. Number 6. Easy cheesy pull-apart rolls. These easy cheese pull-apart rolls are exactly what they claim to be by being both easy and cheesy. They also include fresh parsley and will be a big hit at your dinner table. I'm really excited to share these easy cheesy pull-apart rolls with you. Not only do they taste truly amazing, but only take 5 minutes to throw together, and 12 minutes to bake. Hello holiday time saver. These little bundles of cheesy joy would be the perfect addition to any holiday meal. Do you love family fresh meals? Never miss out on a fun new meal or idea and sign up to have my posts sent right to your inbox. It's easy peasy. Number 5. Best ever sweet potato casserole. For something so delectable, this sweet potato casserole recipe is actually pretty simple to make. Boil, mash, mix, and bake. You might want to make extra as a dessert for those who don't like pumpkin pie. The best part is that it's relatively easy to make. Bake the potatoes until they are tender, scoop out the flesh and mash it all up. Add some brown butter and sugar, put it in a casserole dish and top with a cornflake brown sugar, pecan mixture and some mini marshmallows and bake it up again. And thanks to this casserole, my eyes have been opened to the marvelousness that is browned butter. Plus, I don't even like sweet potatoes all that much, so that's saying something. If you have leftover sweet potatoes from Thanksgiving, or just want to make this super delicious dish, try it, you won't be disappointed. Number 4. Roasted mushrooms with garlic and thyme. Are you looking for a side dish that's amazing while being a little non-traditional? Look no further. This recipe right here meets both of those qualifications. They are also pretty simple to make. If I ever decided to make a list of novels and foods I'd never get tired of, there's no doubt that The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien and mushrooms would be on that list. You may be wondering, where is the connection between Tolkien's Middle-earth and mushrooms? Well, for those that don't know, I think mushrooms are good no matter how you cook them. They are an excellent source of selenium as well as many other nutrients, but roasting concentrates the mushroom flavor in a way that makes these mushrooms especially good. A word of advice, though, you might want to double the recipe, as they're likely to disappear quickly. Number 3. Sweet corn spoon bread. No Thanksgiving table would be complete without some type of cornbread. This recipe is like traditional cornbread, but much more most and with, as the title implies, a sweet taste to it. After you make this once, you won't be using the traditional box recipe ever again. Do you ever have those moments where you feel like you're living someone else's life, like surely this can't be really happening to you? Well, I've been having one of the moments for the past 168 hours. Ever since the release of the book last week, my life has been a dream. Each morning I wake up thinking that is surely not happening to me and that the past few days have simply been a dream. But each morning, I wake up to the sweet, loving messages from each of you praising the book. It's been nothing short of overwhelming and completely unbelievable. This easy sweet corn spoon bread is a favorite at our house. It's another one of those dump, stir, and pour recipes that we all love, but it tastes like so much more. Number 2. The mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is one of those simple to make comfort foods any time of the year. This recipe claims to be the mac and cheese, and after looking at the pictures and reading the comments, this is one recipe that needs to make the final cut to the shopping list. The bloggers even give a tip on how to recook it the next day that might make you want to stow away extra in case there are no leftovers. This one is the one I make to go along with buttermilk fried chicken tenders or hammy sammies or beef roast sandwiches. How about loaded roast beef and blue sliders? You should probably check them out. Heck, this would make a PBJ look great. You could also easily add chunks of ham and make it a full meal. Add some bacon or crab if it floats your boat. Pulled pork? Oh good heavens! The possibilities are endless. Our favorite combinations are a Haverty, 2 cups, cheddar, 4 cups, blend with bacon, pour the beautiful cream sauce over the top of the cheese and pasta, and let it sit a couple minutes to begin to melt the cheese. Number 1. Squash toasts. What would fall be like without a squash recipe or two? These toasts offer a non-traditional take on a fall staple. Butternut squash and maple syrup balance nicely with red pepper and mascarpone cheese. Squash toasts with ricotta and cider vinegar. Lest you operate under the idea that when I go in the kitchen to work on a new recipe, adorable forest creatures gather around, bringing me my whisks and measuring cups. Tiny birds whisper in my ear all the right seasoning notes, and then, when I snap my last photo, my team of minions file silently in to wash the dishes while I go out on the deck to ponder my next free-form food essay. The single, completely unexciting reason I am late to share a new recipe this week is because I was chasing an exasperating salted peanut butter caramel flavored ghost. 5 rounds in, meanwhile, heat 3 tablespoons olive oil in large skillet over medium-high heat. Add the onions and 1 teaspoon salt and cook, stirring frequently, until onions are softened and beginning to brown, about 10 to 15 minutes. Add vinegar and syrup and reduce heat to medium. Cook, stirring, until onions are jammy and broken down. Another 10 to 15 minutes. Pile onions on top of roasted squash, still on their baking sheet. Use a fork to gently half-mash the mixture. I like this best when the mixture is not uniformly combined. Taste and adjust seasonings if needed.